Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of Adorned with Dignity. We are on day 2 and today's entitled The Value of Every Person. This is something that certainly in our generation, there's so many things we don't know about, and I think the value of not only ourselves but of every person is something that we certainly have to learn more about. We are the daughters of a king. And I think that for many of us, we don't really know what that means and how to live that out in our day to day. So with Hashem's help, we'll learn, and we will, be zochet to grow in our avodas Hashem. So it says, before we begin strengthening ourselves in our avodas Hashem, we must remember an essential key to success. As Rabbeinu Yonah teaches, the first step in avodah Hashem is to know the worth of a person. We need to constantly remind ourselves of the immense value inherent in each of us. Indeed, Hashem derives more pleasure from one deed that we do than from all the deeds of the Malachim. I think this is in part because, the Malachim, they don't have a Yetzirah. They don't know anything else. They just don't. So for us, that we're here, things aren't always so clear. It's not always so black and white, if you will. What's the right path to do? So when we get on the right derech, Hashem draws so much nachas from it. So it says the word Adom, person, is made up of the same letters of the word mad, vary. This teaches us that every one of us has immeasurable worth. In truth, Hashem placed a part of himself into each of us. We therefore have infinite potential. And this is so true. I don't even think, they say we're only using a portion of our brain. This is the same concept here. We don't even know how much we're worth. We're just, we're all, imagine if we were all at capacity. My goodness. So it says, the Gemara teaches that each person is obligated to say the world was created for me, because we each have the importance of the entire world. And it says, Harav Zev Smith Shlita explains with this with a mashal. Imagine if one would decide to go on a vacation during the winter, and you would ask the owner of a bungalow colony to open the place just for you. Of course, he would say that this is not feasible, since it would be a very costly and inconvenience for him to open all the facilities just for you. Yet Hashem says that each person is so great that it is worth it for him to create the whole world just for that person. Now this, it seems like a very difficult concept, especially if you have low self-esteem. But I gotta tell you, this indeed, it is. It's like the whole world. It's just you and Hashem. That's what it comes down to. It's you and Hashem. Even though there's all of Klal Yisrael, it really is just you and Hashem. And when you're walking with Hashem, you're making him happy. It's a wonderful thing. It's such a personal journey. And I encourage each and every one of you to go on it. So it says, indeed, each person is a one-time occurrence that has never been before and will never be again. Every person has a unique blend of character and personality traits, and this uniqueness gives him the great importance. Only he can accomplish his life's task, as says the Eliyahu. So, this is very true too. This is the other thing why we say this. It's really no purpose in having jealousy towards your neighbor or towards your brother, because the truth is, what's been allotted for him is for him in order that he or she should complete their mission in life. And the same is true for you. No one can do your task. So, when they were building the Beit HaMikdash, everybody, every family did their part. And, even if you think your part is small, even if you think that your part is the equivalent of the person who's hammering the nails and putting in the screws, let me tell you, without those nails and without those screws, everything falls apart. So you cannot think that your role in Klal Yisrael is so small that it's not important at all, that you shouldn't do it. That couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is that everyone is important and everyone is part of the story. So it says, Hashem lovingly calls us this treasure, as is written. It says that Rav Sadok explains that when someone has a treasure, he doesn't take his mind off of it. So too Hashem thinks about us constantly. Indeed, we are all called Hashem's children, as written in the Torah. And in the Chavot Halavavot, it reveals that Hashem loves us more than any father loves his child. So imagine, I know how much I love my children. And so I can't even fathom, my my children, one is away in the service, and I gotta tell you the tremendous pain that it is that he's been away. I can't imagine how Hashem feels, and so always, this is the reason why we got to be so careful, even when we're with our brother and sister, not to cause pain to them, because this in turn causes pain to Hashem. It's a great it's a great sorrow for Hashem. So really, this is one of the reasons why I should always love all your brothers and sisters. And it says, since Hashem loves us so dearly, He only commands us to perform that deeds that are good for us. Thus, whenever we perform mitzvot, we can rejoice in the fact that we are pleasing our Father, as well as generating everlasting joy for ourselves in this world and in Olam Haba. So this is the thing, it's I think that you can compare this to, like when you tell your children they shouldn't do drugs, has v'shalom. They shouldn't hang out with people who have bad midot, has v'shalom. Like all these things, and sometimes you feel like I don't need to give you an explanation. I'm telling you for your own good. And sometimes I think this is, we have this problem that Hashem is telling us things. Everything that Hashem is telling us to do, it is only to benefit us and help us to navigate in Olam Hazeh, in order that we can have Olam Haba. So, this is the thing that it drives myself crazy when I don't get this through my head. And I say all the time, I'm such a knucklehead, and it drives me crazy. Everything Hashem is telling me to do, just do it. And try. Okay, if I didn't get it today, tomorrow's a new day. And I've said this before in previous shirim that, a victory today doesn't guarantee a victory tomorrow, but a defeat today doesn't also guarantee a defeat tomorrow. Every day is different, and every day is a new day. Every day that you're here, thank Hashem, you have another opportunity to go out there and do a mitzvot. So that's it for today, and I hope we'll all be together again soon. B'ezrat Hashem.